Hi everyone. So for me, for today, I had more testing to do for teleperformance, and I hope I pass their tests. Chats are not really my strong point because it's like I'm good at focusing on one thing at a time, and with chats you are basically looking at doing 2 or 3 things at the same time. So while you're typing, you have to then leave that chat on hold, research the information, come back, type your response. Some of the tests are easier because they have the response already populated and you have to just choose the right one. But some of them, like the one I did today, it's not as easy because you have to type and you've got a second chat waiting for you. So the work I'm doing, it's work that like 16-year-olds do. But anyway, I can't seem to get into an executive assistant role or an admin role, so I'll just have to keep applying. And I even applied for supervisor roles, senior manager roles. They never select me for any of that. I mean, they say admin assistants are in demand in Canada, so I don't know how come I can't get any admin assistant job. And I'm not even applying for those jobs. There are admin assistants that earn like $100,000 a year. I'm applying for like the ones that pay like $25 an hour. So I really don't get it. But anyway, I completed my testing, so now I have to wait. But, you know, they very Americanized texts and they very Americanized language. Like even the voice, it's the voice of an American. What they do is they'll have a line spoken out to you and then they'll ask you to repeat that line. And so they basically measuring, did you hear, did you understand, how did you understand? Then they have a test on mathematics. So they give you 19 questions to answer in 10 minutes. I mean, I'm not that fast with math. I don't know anybody that's completed all 19 in 10 minutes. But they are things like measurements. So if somebody calls you ordering a table, you have to know what the length of the plank is, and then you have to calculate that. Or if 8 people come to work and it takes the one person this long to do a task and 2 people don't come, how long is it going to take to finish that? I mean, all those things take time to work out. Oh no, you're supposed to like work it out quickly and get the answer and move on. Then there's health and safety tests. So they'll put a picture and they'll have like gloves, they'll have a goggles, and they'll have something else. And they'll say, oh, if this corrosive substance goes into the air, which of these would you use as a protective measure? Those are the kinds of questions we get asked. So it's not easy. It's very, very difficult testing. And then like for the sales, they'll have 3 or 4 answers that are very similar. One of them being like, oh, you've got a presentation coming up and you haven't managed to meet your boss and you're meeting with the client in 10 minutes, what will you do? And then they give you 4 answers to choose from. Or you're going to a party and one of your clients is going to be there and you haven't heard from this client in a while. What will you do at the party? So these are things that are very culturally specific, because how I would approach them coming from Zimbabwe or Canada is very different to how an American would approach them. So anyway, that I'm just giving you some examples to show you how extremely difficult it is. When I started at TP, we didn't have all these tests. You basically had a typing test and a spelling test, and that was it. Now there's all these questions. And they also give you a conversation. So they'll make you listen to a conversation, and then they'll ask you questions based on that conversation. And then they give you a topic, and you have 45 seconds to prepare, and then you have to speak on that topic. So these are all the things that you have to do to get an entry-level job in Canada. With your master's degree, with your BCom, with over 20 years of working experience, not just in Canada, but in London, England, in America, in South Africa, in Zimbabwe, these are the things you have to do. And if you go for, like I registered with employment agencies here. So if you go to an employment agency, normally they meet you in the office. Now everything is virtual. So you'll have like a Teams meeting or a Zoom meeting. And then I've registered with 5 different agencies now, employment agencies. So some of them will send you like testing to do, like Word, Excel, PowerPoint. My Excel is better than I thought it was. I'm quite surprised. And my typing is like 55 to 60 words per minute. And I did well on all the tests. Then other agencies will send you, it's like a form, and you have to choose the correct answer on that form. And then based on that, they decide whether or not to present you to their clients. So it's not as easy as people think it is. And I miss England in that way, because when I used to register with the agencies in England, they basically work off your resume. So whatever's on your resume, once they do your reference checks, or if you're referred by somebody, then they place you. They don't make you go through the rigmarole of 40-minute tests, 40-minute to an hour tests for entry-level work that's paying you like $22 or $23 an hour. And they don't make you do all this Word, Excel, PowerPoint, simulations, test how you talk. So it's very hard. And I told the recruiter, I said to her, it's your AI. There's nothing wrong with my voice. There's nothing wrong with how I talk. And it's very different when you're on the floor. And you have those chats prepared. You can copy and paste your answers because you develop templates in the end. You standardize them and then you copy and paste them. So, I don't know. And then today the internet was slow. So it took, I hope that everything goes through successfully. But we'll see. But it's just tough. I mean, if you're competing with people who are coming here from India and they know that, oh, these are students, they're just looking for something temporary. And then there's me who's been there for 8 years. I don't know. It's changed a lot. And Teleperformance also got fined because they were trying to normalize people's accents, especially the Indian accent. So, I don't know. And I don't know what more people expect me to do for my mother, because I've done everything it's possible for me to do. I've written to St. Vincent de Paul, I've written to the sisters, I've written to the Archdiocese of Toronto, I brought her to Canada. I told her she could stay with me, she didn't want to stay with me. So, I bought a property for us, and every time I ask for help, people refuse to help. So, I really don't know what more people want me to do, because it's very, very hard. When you're on your own, to buy a property on your own, first of all, is hard. And then people don't even want to help you to keep it. So, I don't know. I'm just praying that somebody comes through and lends me that money, because I know there's rental supports in place. But again, you have to have income. You have to prove that you are working and that you've got an income. And then based on that, they will try to help you with your rent and with whatever you need to do. If you don't have a job and you don't have an income, nobody will lend to you. Nobody will help you. So I don't know why people are not speaking well of me. I don't know why people are not speaking well of what I've done for my mother. I don't abuse her. She thinks I abuse her. I don't abuse her. There's nothing wrong with asking for help. Everybody gets upset sometimes. I think people think they're perfect. They live in a dream world where they never get upset, or they have their husbands and wives and their families for support. So they expect you to operate like them or think like them. For once, I would like people to be happy for me, be happy that I've got a pool to use and a gym, and I don't even use them. I was happy at Rosewell Gardens. I didn't need the pool and the gym and all that. It's there, so I use it. But if it's not there, I'm not going to miss it. People here say, you know what, we don't even use the pool because people pee in the pool. We hardly use it. I used it because I wanted to get well, so I did my 20 lengths every day. And that's what helped me, because swimming is one of the best exercises. But I don't know why. It's always an issue. It's always about, oh, you've got this and we don't have that, and oh, you did this and we never had the opportunity to do it. I really don't get it. I don't understand why people don't focus on the good that God has done in their lives and what God has blessed them with, and why they always putting me down, and why they refuse to help me with my rent. I don't get it. Because it's not like I'm not trying to get a job. It's not like I'm not getting interviews. It's not like I haven't done everything possible. And then when I ask for help, it's like, oh, why don't you go and get another mental health assessment done? I'm like, what the hell? Mental health assessment for what? And for who? People act like I'm losing my jobs because I have some mental health problems. I'm not. The businesses are restructuring, and that's why I lost this job. And before that, it was because of people calling my workplaces, and the managers got sick of them. Oh, we want to know where Belinda is. We want to know what she's doing. We want to know that she got there. It's like, what the hell? Why don't you leave Belinda alone and let her live her life and let her do her job? We all tired of you calling here, wanting to know where Belinda is. And if you want to know where she is, why don't you hire her? And why don't you give her a job? That's basically what it comes down to. Oh, we like her, we like her. Nobody cares. Nobody cares how much you like someone. People go to work to do a job and earn a paycheck. That's it. That's all people care about. So I really don't know. To me, it's beyond, it boggles my mind. This whole thing, my whole life is crazy. Everything. They never see the good I've done. They never see that, okay, you know what, on her own, she had to sponsor her mother. She had to buy a property. She had to come up in life. They don't. Oh, we were all by ourselves. But you know what? You had your family. You had a unit. You had a husband and wife. You had your children. It's ridiculous. As far as I'm concerned, oh, but we were vulnerable. Guess what? So was I. The one who's going through the unemployment, the one who's dealing with having lost her dad at the age of 5, the one who's struggling to get some financial help, you don't have any sympathy for me. It's all about you and about how vulnerable you were and how sensitive you were. I'm like, you know what? Give me a break. Give me a break. Because I'm tired of it. And honestly, if I had to do it all over again, I wouldn't listen to my mother. I wouldn't. I'd say, you know what? If you want to come to Canada, you come to Canada. I'm booking my ticket and I'm coming home. I don't care if there's land grabs. I don't care if there's electricity cuts. I don't care. I'm coming home and you go to Canada and you stay there because I've been treated like shit in this country. Everybody knows it. They know it at the church. Father Larry knows it. The employers know it. It's like, be grateful that you got a job. Yeah, you know what? Be grateful that you've got somebody like me on your team. That's what it is. If I had to live this life over, I wouldn't come to this country. I wouldn't. All these things that I've got, all this Elvis memorabilia and all that, yeah, it's nice. But you know what? It was a waste of a life. Because I have taken every opportunity and I've done well in it, within what I can do. I've done more than expected, given the circumstances I had to deal with, on my own. Because there's no support. There's no support. And it's very, very hard. It's very, very hard. I tried to go to America. I couldn't get in there. I'm still applying for jobs globally. But this is ridiculous. Every month it's the same thing. And you get people who are incompetent. You get people who are not willing to learn, who go to work drunk, who go to work high on drugs, they're keeping them. They're keeping them in their jobs. And with me, you do one little thing wrong and they want to let you go. Oh no. If I had to live this life over, I would not come to this country. I would not pledge allegiance to Canada because I deserve better. And now you saw what Melissa Landsman said. When I was making all those posts and telling my friends, be careful, be careful, be careful of what's happening with the Muslim community, nobody wanted to listen, right? Everybody was turning against me. Now look what Melissa Landsman said. Where are all these Iranians? Where are they? Are they out on the street protesting because the person that came in is just as backwards in his thinking as the last one was? Are they protesting? Are they saying he must go? Are they supporting President Trump? They're not. This whole thing is to destabilize the West. And now Nigeria is coming up and the king is supporting it. Oh my God. I really and truly, I hope he really supports that Magna Carta like he said he did. Because this, what is happening in this world is completely screwed up. Completely. There's no income support. They know AI is taking the jobs. But there's nothing. There's nothing. Oh, you have to have a job to get a loan. What about the rest of us? What about the rest of us? Don't you think I'd also like to have a car and have my own property and have some dignity of work? I mean, it's ridiculous. If I get a job in Zimbabwe, I'll take it and I'll go. And I mean it. I am tired of being treated like this. There's nothing wrong with my mental health. There's nothing wrong with my accent. There's nothing wrong with my grammar and my typing. Nothing. Can't even get one decent job. Oh, give me a break. Give me a break. Anyway, it's just too much. It's too much. If any of my friends can lend me that money, please lend it to me. I don't promise to pay it back immediately, but I will pay you back that 3,000 over time. Because I'm tired of calling my uncles or calling my cousins and having to have a big discussion about it. And then, no, we can't help you. I don't want to go through that again. So if somebody can help me, please help me. And that's what the psalm was about today. God comes to rescue souls. He doesn't promise that there's not going to be storms in life, but he does promise he will be with us through those storms. And he does promise that he will be close to the brokenhearted. That's what God's promise is. I know I'm not the only one going through it, but for those of you that know me, including people I graduated with, my friends from Wits, if you can help me, help me. Because you know what? My life is being wasted here. It really is.